So we started off just wondering a long time ago why the seas are so salty. And now I think we understand that the polar water molecules have the ability to dissolve certain ionic compounds in water. And over time, as water has moved over the landscape and dissolved minerals in it, and then deposited them in the oceans, which are just lower in topography, it's just like the low parts of the earth is where the water has collected. Um, so over time, those salts have dissolved in the water, and then it drains in the ocean, and then the water in the ocean continually is evaporated and rained back down over land. So whereas the water can evaporate back out, the salts stay in the oceans. So therefore, the oceans have a higher salt concentration than the freshwater sources that are feeding them. And there's a great article that I've provided to your teachers called "Why the Ocean is Salty." It's just a few pages long, and it's just a really nice explanation of why, for example, the sodium ion concentration in the ocean is much higher than the sodium ion concentration is compared to the other ions in freshwater deposited. So there's lots of really interesting little tidbits once you understand the basics of different salts and the solubilities of different salts as to why the sea is composed of the types of minerals that it is. So I'd like for you to read that on your own. I have a few questions for you on a homework. Okay, so what we've done then here is use the concept of intermolecular forces to explain solubility. The term is like dissolves like, and what that means is if the substances in their condensed phases have the same types of intermolecular forces, then they're going to be soluble in one another, and if they don't, they're going to have limited solubility. And so if they are similar, if they're not similar, there'll be no attraction that can be overcome, that attraction being within the solvent and the solute. So now I think hopefully you have a better idea that when you look at water, you recognize that water is really a mixture, and the definition of that mixture, how we define it, is based on the concentration of the components of the mixture, and it varies depending on what water you're talking about, the source of the water, and what you've done to the water. In the next lecture, we're going to take a look at, how can we get water to be from, just from the earth to where it's safe, and some different issues around providing safe drinking water.